So like a good cynic, I rejected abstract art, and I even sort of took inspiration in a quote I read somewhere which said that, abstract art is really the work of the untalented, sold by the unscrupulous to the bewildered. But I couldn't hold on to it very long because I did meet somebody who does abstract art, works that she made, lines that were like the spider gossamer, as delicate and so strong. And so I'm very, very thrilled to invite a dear friend and a Delhi-based artist. Many of you know her work, Sheila Makhijani. Sheila Ki Javani.
Shall I go that side? I will have to. Yeah. Okay, first let me just correct Rahul. I don't call myself an abstract artist because I feel abstraction is something which is, for a layman, it's something which is not there, does not exist. So for me, everything what I do is very, very real. So let's start by showing, I'm basically a painter, but I don't have the earlier paintings here because those paintings at that time we did not have digital technology, so all of them are in slides or photographs. So the moment the technology came, I could have the works from there. This is ceramic work. Of course, they're all individual separate pieces, and they're all, it's not supposed to be really, it's like a city, you just move around it. You have to become a Lilliput and walk into the city and walk into my place. And then this particular work is made of cardboard and is painted. And all these holes which you see, which are drilled over there, the light is supposed to go through that and you're supposed to see the light within. It was for a show called Light and Enlightenment. So I just did not know what to do about enlightenment, so I just stuck to light. Then this is how I started working on paper a lot earlier. And these are all my Sumi drawings. And they started becoming like small blobs. First they came as blobs and I was very satisfied with that. And slowly, slowly the orange crept in. So I did a lot of these works in 96. And then they transformed themselves into cloth and they were stuffed with cotton. And they also went along with the work on the wall. They look something like this, where you have these works in the frame, and then you have these things which I call OB balls, because they're orange and black balls. Then these are, again, something which just came as one of the works. Then here are these works on the wall, where the work is creeping out of the frame, out onto the frame from the paper. And then there's a sculpture on the floor to support it. The sculpture happened just because this gallery likes to keep a sofa there, and I didn't want the sofa. So that they don't keep the sofa, I had to put something there, so I put the sculpture. Then this particular work also just happened by the way because there was this big piece of cotton which was left there, and there was this floor on which I could paint directly. So I painted directly on the floor, and I had all these small black things. I just tape, is elastic tape, electricity tape, and with pins, so they just move out onto the sky. Then this particular work was one which I did in Coach. It had a pond, and it's very ironical because there are a lot of mosquitoes wherever there's water. So I wanted to catch all the mosquitoes into a tent, into this mosquito net. So I just put the mosquito net on top of the water. I thought let the mosquitoes have a taste of their own life and they get caught in this net. Of course they didn't, but it was just a metaphor. And then my drawings which you saw earlier, which was like a blob, slowly moved into more linear. And here they sort of just start discovering themselves, and a lot of lines start walking in. So when they start creeping in, it's basically a kind of a house or a structure, and then they all start walking and they all want to have their own life. Okay. So these are all the drawings. They just keep on moving, and then for me they change every time they move. But sometimes they get complicated, and sometimes they get simpler. Then this was a particular acrylic cube. It is, I painted on them, and it's a solid acrylic cube. So when you move it in your hand, the drawing moves three-dimensionally. You can't see it like this here. So they're all placed together, and they move and come down. And the reflection on the wall is because of nothing else but the light coming from the top. Then again, since drawing is what I love to do, so I keep on drawing a lot. Then this is done on a very on a piece of paper. I got this paper called Brazilian cartridge, which was so brittle and so acidic that the moment it used to get all these dog's corners. So I started cutting the paper and stitching them up. So wherever they used to get dog's corner, I used to just cut it. So I decided to just stitch them and then paint and see what happens. So initially the works were like this. Then of course, okay, this is as I'm a painter, so my paint always I'm a colorist. I love color basically. So I have color in any way in all my works. So these drawings were first initially like this, and then say for example this drawing. So I decided to do away with the frame, and then they moved like this. I stitched it within a plastic so that then I can put it directly on the wall. So this is the same drawing, which is now stitched on it's inside a plastic. So this is how the works were in a particular exhibition. It was here in Ladusserai, where I have these canvases, like since I'm painting, and then there are these structures on top of them I have what I call 3DDs, that's three-dimensional drawings. I'll just show you those. This is what is on top of the structures which you just saw. Like on these structures, like these small ones. These are the small ones. They're just made with watch dials, wire, and beads. They're really tiny. They're not bigger than my hand. So this is taken out in the sun. So all the shadows for me form the kind of a drawing, like my earlier drawings, if you remember. So those kind of shadows are part of the work. So here the structure is cut in between. So I was trying to make them feel more animated. And this is another one of my drawings. So sometimes my drawings cover the entire paper. These are called scuttles. I started calling them. I have this. I took this kind of I got a piece made out of a wire cut die, which was not bigger than a postcard. It's stainless steel, and it's very thin stainless steel, which I can sort of really screw and change and move it around the way I want. So I made these sculptures, which are about this must be about 5 feet long and 2 feet high. So when I wanted to go slightly larger in the sculpture, I started making with this. This is how it was. So there are 3 of them here. And these are the shadows. I'm very interested in the shadows. This work comes on the wall. So this is the shadow when the light is coming from the top. Over here the shadow is what I'm really interested in. And here is the shadow when the light is coming from the bottom. And in this particular exhibition, the gallery had probably a lot of mice over there, and they decided to put it with my sculpture, so I thought it looks quite interesting, so I thought I'd just have this slide here. And this is the shadow when it comes from it's the same work which you saw earlier. Now the light is on the floor, so now the shadows grow in the back. So then after those drawings which were stitched, they eventually came into a book form, and that's how they move. So then everybody can easily open and see the way they want to see. I feel the plastic protects them. So then the colored paper started coming. So this is all just colored paper which is stitched onto the white paper, and then it's painted on top. Then they started folding. So once they started folding and came on the wall, it's the same work over here. So the shadow changes according to the light. So for me, they become like more like 3D drawings, in which you can also open and play, and you can also see the back of it, and you can see half of it if you so desire. So they move around like that. And in this one, which is the last one, it just folds and it stays like that, so that you can put your hand in if you feel like doing that. That's my, thank you.